EU vows to cement 50-year partnership with Ethiopia on governance, democracy. The European Delegation to Ethiopia, head of the Governance and Peace Team Anna Lixi, highlighted the breadth of collaboration, spanning government institutions and civil society. The European Union is working with various democratic situations and support.
We have a strong partnership since 50 years. We have celebrated in 2025 the 50 years of partnership with Ethiopia. So we cooperate in the field of good governance and democratization in different fields and with different authorities. Our interventions have been concentrated in the latest years, and when I say in the latest years, it's 2023-2026 in the field of criminal justice reform and supporting NEB in their needs and in its needs in view of the new election, the 7th general election, which will be held now in 2026. With the government authorities, for example, we cooperate with the Ethiopian Human Rights Commission. We have different programs with the Ethiopian Human Rights Commission. We cooperate with the Ministry of Justice and the Federal Supreme Court in the criminal justice reform. So we cooperate with the National Ethiopian Board of Election. There are many different both Ethiopian authorities and civil society with which we cooperate in implementing different projects in the field of good governance and democratic strengthening. We accompany, contribute and support the government initiative. So the government initiative led by the National Dialogue Commission is the process carried out on the basis of principle to make it transparent and inclusive. What we do is that we finance the program implemented by the National Dialogue Commission, and we are in dialogue together with the other donors with the National Dialogue Commission to accompany their projects. So it's difficult for me to say what the European Union does to ensure that the process is inclusive and transparent. Is the National Dialogue Commission, which is carrying out a process which has the inclusiveness and the transparency as a basic founding principle. And this is the reason why the European Union, together with other donors, are supporting the government in this endeavor. We have a grant which contributes to the National Dialogue Commission activities.
Experts call for stronger economic integration to accelerate Africa's development. Policy and finance leaders across Africa have called for stronger implementation of the continent's economic integration agenda to accelerate industrialization, trade, and inclusive development. Executive Chairman of the Africa Prosperity Network, Gabi Asari Ocher-Darko, stressed that building a unified African market is essential for unlocking the continent's
economic integration is the way forward for Africa in terms of giving our economies the scale for industrialization, for manufacturing, for intra-African trade, for creating jobs, for allowing the entrepreneurial skills, talents, and creativity of the African youth to be unleashed. If we have an integrated economy of 1.5 billion consumers, then we'll be going somewhere. But if we remain as fragmented as we are, which we inherited from our so-called colonial masters, if we continue protecting that restricted sovereignty, it will continue to arrest our development and detain our progress. So we have absolutely no choice but to come together. And we've already done that on paper. We have all the treaties and protocols. And the Abuja Treaty, which is the basis of this economic integration, gave ourselves 2028 to have a single market. We are no longer, it's just 2 years away. That's why we think that it is important to have this movement. We want the people of Africa to be the owners and drivers of economic integration, because the leadership have done their part in terms of giving us the treaties and protocols, but they haven't been able to implement them.
Chief Executive Officer of the African Trade and Investment Development Insurance, ATIDI, Manuel Moses, also emphasized the importance of the African Continental Free Trade Area in expanding trade among African countries.
That, as you know, buyers and sellers don't know each other. The continent is very big. So as the traders are expanding into the continent, and you are worried, investors worried of selling to a buyer that they don't know, they can come to us for protection and say, I'm selling to my buyer in South Africa, in Ghana, and I'm afraid that I'm not going to get my money. They can get our protection so that they can trade more. Other regions are trading in the order of 60% of their GDP. The equivalent number in Africa is 16%. So we have a long way to go to trade amongst ourselves. And if we do that, we certainly can change the difference, because this is a $3.5 trillion economy that we're sitting on. We need just to trade amongst ourselves, and we create opportunities and jobs for all Africans. So naturally, we are here to enable finance to happen. We are already actively working in Ethiopia, several projects that we've done in the telecoms, and we are looking forward to also support the infrastructure projects in the country and across the region. Of course, we do need a lot of investment, so definitely integration is important. And as part of the AMFI, which is an association of African institutions, we are trying to see how all of us can pool our resources to support and finance Africa's development, because Africa's development needs to be financed first by us Africans, and then we can invite.
Wildlife conservation efforts enhancing Ethiopia's competitiveness in tourism activities carried out in wildlife and natural resource conservation have helped create favorable conditions for the growth of ecotourism and strengthened Ethiopia's competitiveness as a tourist destination, according to Ministry of Tourism.
Speaking at the opening program of the 60th anniversary of the Ethiopian Wildlife Conservation Authority today, Tourism State Minister Sileshi Girma said the authority has undertaken extensive activities over the years to protect wildlife, natural resources, and ecosystems. He noted that the institution, along with professionals in the sector, has made significant contributions to preserving the country's biodiversity.
በበርካታ ቱሪስቶች መጎብኘት እንዲችል ለአካባቢው ህብረተሰብ የሥራ ዕድልና የኑሮ ማሻሻያ አማራጭ እንዲፈጠር የውጭ ምንዛሬ እንድናገኝ ኢትዮጵያ ከምትታወቅበት የታሪክና የባህል እሴቶች በተጨማሪ ባላት የተፈጥሮ ሀብት የዱር እንስሳት ብርቅዬ ሀብቶች በዓለም አቀፍ ደረጃ ተወዳዳሪ የቱሪስት መዳረሻ እንድትሆን አስችሏታል።
Ethiopian Wildlife Conservation Authority Director General, Kumra Wakjira, said the institution has carried out effective activities by establishing national parks, protecting natural resources, and combating illegal wildlife trade over the past 6 decades. According to him, there are 87 conservation areas that have been identified based on scientific studies across the country.
በመላ ኢትዮጵያ ከ87 በላይ የተለያዩ የጥበቃ ቦታዎች እንዲቋቋሙና እንዲጠበቁ ያስቻለ ታሪካዊ ስኬት አስመዝግቧል። በተለይም የሰሜን ተራሮች ብሔራዊ ፓርክ እና የባሌ ተራሮች ብሔራዊ ፓርክ ካላቸው ዓለም አቀፋዊ ፋይዳ አንጻር በዓለም ቅርስነት የተመዘገቡ መሆናቸው የኢትዮጵያ የተፈጥሮ ጥበቃ ዓለም አቀፍ ክብር ከፍ እንዲል አስችሏል።